It's mid-2026 and your boss isn't just a person anymore. It's an interface. Every click, every pause, every idle minute is being logged, analyzed, and graded by a silent, unfeeling algorithm. You show up to work, but you don't feel like a contributor. You feel like a compute unit. Welcome to the era of algorithmic anxiety. The psychological shift in the 2026 workplace is cold and calculated. Companies are replacing organizational trust with algorithmic management. They've traded human empathy for data points, believing that if they can measure everything, they can optimize anything. But you can't optimize a soul, and you can't measure the weight of the stress that comes from being watched every second of your day. This surveillance has created what psychologists call the Digital Panopticon. In a traditional prison, the guard sits in a tower where they can see everyone, but no one can see them. At work, that tower is the AI surveillance software running on your laptop. You never know when the algorithm is flagging your sentiment or your engagement score, so you start to police yourself. You stop being creative and start being compliant. The pressure is leading to a new kind of high-functioning burnout. You're hitting every target, you're prompt engineering like a pro, and you're automating your repetitive tasks. But instead of saving you time, the AI overwork gap has just doubled your actual workload. Management sees the efficiency gains and just adds more units to your queue. You aren't more productive, you're just running a faster race on a treadmill that never stops. The most insidious part is performance-induced gaslighting. HR departments now use AI-driven sentiment analysis to justify disciplinary actions. They tell you that the algorithm detected a lack of alignment in your internal communications. They use a black box model to tell you how you feel, making you doubt your own reality. It's a culture where the machine's output is treated as the ultimate truth, while your lived experience is treated as a noisy data point. Physical toll is a slow-motion car crash. It's the jaw tension you don't notice until you try to sleep. It's the constant fight or flight mode triggered by a notification ping. In 2026, we've optimized our calendars but neglected our biology. We've forgotten that human focus and creativity aren't linear compute tasks. They require rest, wandering, and the one thing corporate culture hates most: boredom. Why do we stay silent? Because in this market, vulnerability feels like a target on your back. We've been conditioned to believe that admitting struggle is a sign of being unstable or lagging behind. High performers are especially susceptible because their identity is so deeply tied to their output. To admit you are cracking is to admit that the version of yourself you've sold to the world, the optimized high achiever, is a lie. But here is the truth that Soul Sanctum wants you to hear. You are being gaslighted by a system that was never designed for humans. You aren't lagging behind because you are slow. You're struggling because you are a biological being in an artificial ecosystem. An algorithm cannot replicate your human judgment, your empathy, or your ability to solve a crisis that wasn't in the training data. You are the only one holding their leaking ship together. It's time to start the human-centered resistance. This isn't about being lazy, it's about reclaiming your agency. It starts with setting boundaries that feel unprofessional to a toxic system but are essential for a sane life. Reclaim your bio breaks, not just for the bathroom, but for your mind. Stop letting the algorithm dictate your nervous system's state. If the company has demoted your humanity to a data point, then it's time to demote your emotional investment in their mission statement. Reclaim your worth. Your value is not determined by a KPI designed to please Wall Street. Whether you are hitting your metrics or between roles, your history and your skills are real. The corporate world wants to turn you into a perfectly visible and optimized node, but you are a person with intrinsic worth that exists entirely outside of a corporate spreadsheet. Do not let a software version rewrite your identity. Find joy in the parts of yourself that the algorithm can't track. Your hobbies, your family, your ability to think deeply without a performance score. In a world that wants to turn you into a compute unit, staying unproductive and happy is a revolutionary act of self-preservation. Recenter your life around the things that have zero market value: staring at the sky, a walk in the park, or a deep conversation with a real friend. You are whole. You are enough. You are not a noisy data point. The system wants you to crack silently so it can replace you without a sound. Don't let it. Acknowledge the cracks, seek support, and remember that staying bright and human is the ultimate act of defiance in 2026. Stay bright, stay human. It is Soul Sanctum.